Yeah. Get it.
It takes two of us. It takes two of us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, how are you?
how are you? Well, listen, it's raining
Can I
outside, but I'm
see
so
you?
happy.
You hiding
Huh?
from somebody over there?
I know I'm in the dark. I know I'm in the dark. But it is so good to see you. Yes, I'm traveling. As you know, well, I'm in places this week. So I'm in Maryland this week.
Yeah, you be right in the room. We don't need light. You're bright.
Hey, I love it. I love it. It is good to see you though. It's starting to rain here, so for anyone watching, Tasha is in a place where, listen, sometimes the weather fights her electricity and sometimes the weather wins.
It's very true, you know.
Sometimes the weather wins.
Vintage neighborhood.
Call it legacy.
Legacy, old
Vintage,
school,
heritage,
right? Yeah.
Underground Railroad, all of it.
Gang C is in the house. Good evening.
Oh, good evening. Good evening, everybody. Okay. Hey, Gangs E. All right. So tonight we are talking about when you give away what you never get back. This is a big one.
Yeah. I mean, and it can cover an array of things, right?
Sure can.
Yeah. Obviously, the first thing that I thought about, although I knew what we were talking about, was, we're ladies, right?
Yes.
You don't give away yourself because once you give it away, you can't get it back.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. I am often thinking about time and who I give my time and my talents to. And that is, it's taken me a lot of lessons, but I have eventually, I think I'm getting there. I feel like I'm almost there. I don't give my time and energy to anything. I can't get it back. I don't want to give my time and energy being upset. I don't want to give my time and energy to people, to drama. I don't have time. I don't get it back. Like, some people might say, you only got 20 good summers left. You know what I mean?
20 good summers.
So that was something someone said to me. Like, they were like, once you get a certain age, you only got 20 good summers.
That's hilarious.
You only got 20 good summers. What you gonna do?
That's funny. I mean, I'm definitely a planner. Time is a precious commodity for me because it is tugged on by many. And
yes, it is.
And so if I give you a time, right? This quote, if I'm giving you my time, I'm giving you a portion of my life that I can never.
That's so deep. That's such a commitment, right?
That's a portion of my life, my entire life. Like, don't waste it, right?
No, I feel you. No, I'm saying it's like real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before. Time management is a big thing for people, and it's a struggle for a lot of people. But I think that, we've got some ways to kind of help people. Time management can be like a boring subject, right? Everything for us is about perspective. And so when you think about things that are precious to you and priorities, and sort of reshape the conversation around time, that's when you're able to manage it differently, right?
Yeah. I mean, and time management, because for some of our clients, they see that structure is very difficult. They really just repel and fight anything, even despite the fact that they want accountability. They will fight anything that remotely looks like structure. However, it doesn't have to be so tightly wound, right? It can be guiding posts, right?
Yeah.
And you can allow for the relax and the let go and the free. It's so important. I mean, when I think about, just as a young woman growing up and spending and being in multiple or different relationships, I'm like, yeah, why did I give that ninja so much time? Jesus. I can't get none of that back. None of it.
None of it. But it's perspective, right? You have to take You have to take that time that you did invest and you learn some lessons, right? And so you can change the perspective of that time. So it's really not lost time, it was learned time.
Oh Lord, the school of hard knocks.
Right?
Jesus. Right? Gangsta E, what about you? What's your perspective on time?
Yeah.
Can you, Tasha, can you think of times where you just like gave something way too much of your time?
For sure. I mean, definitely relationships come to mind. But for the most part, I've always been a if it doesn't serve me or serve where I'm going in life, then I'm okay with leaving it, right? Or not
Mm.
waiting for it. You know, we talk about this all the time. If I'm giving you some time, it's a whole portion of my life. So if we have lunch scheduled or dinner scheduled, it is I'm going to give you that hour and a half. And so if you don't get there until 30 minutes in, you only got the hour.
You only got the hour left, right?
That's just the way
And for
I
me,
because I am way more structured, but you're very much different, but we still have the same sort of priority and weight for the time that we give people. I just structure it a little differently than you do.
and this to me goes actually as I'm thinking about it, and we're talking about it, for me, it's also connected to our last conversation about, we talked about forgiveness. I just really come to the idea that, oh, this is no longer worth my time.
Mm,
Giving it any more energy and time does not serve me. It ain't even about forgiveness. It's just, oh, you've shown me who you are. Therefore, I don't need to waste any more time. I'm so cool with this. I ain't gonna
yeah.
think about this no more. I'm out. I gotta go.
Yeah, so in our message tonight we talked about people saying, "Oh, I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time for myself. I don't have time for myself." And I think as women, we often use that excuse for not doing the things that we want to do because we are pulled on so much as, daughters and mothers and wives, and we work full time, and we serve here and we serve there. But it's just about the priorities that we set in our lives, right? If we
I want to be mindful that we not call it an excuse, right? Because there are people who really have some things put upon them, and sometimes you have so many things coming at you that you don't have an opportunity to think clearly, right? So you could be in a water hose moment, and there's so much stuff that all you're doing that you haven't taken the time and the breath to say, well, what's important to me? Because you've been in high stress, right? And so I wouldn't say it like people are complaining, but they might be so overwhelmed that they haven't even considered that they can prioritize differently.
Mhm.
And that's an important thing for us, particularly as women, right? We know we have friends who are dealing with aging parents, and there is a guilt, there is a love, there is a no one else is coming to help. I got to help my parent. You know what I mean? All of that. So it comes by it honestly, but
Yeah.
helping them understand, and they've got kids and they've got other responsibilities and work responsibilities. They get it honest, but it's really just helping them reevaluate. But you can also take care of yourself.
Yeah. It's crucial to take care of yourself. Evangeline says, I'm very conscious of my time. I don't take on jobs or people that don't respect my time. And that's getting to a place where you can learn to say no, no,
Yeah.
no.
No is a
And
complete sentence.
that can also be hard for people who are givers. I want to be in service. I want to be on this board. Yes, I want to lead this committee. I want to do this. I want to help. I want to. And you don't leave space for taking care of yourself or the things that you want to do. It's harder to say yes to yourself when your plate is so full saying yes to everyone else.
She says, life is short and I don't have time for others' foolishness. Absolutely. That sounds like she heard that I got 20 good summers left. I don't have time. But also, I mean, to your point, for people who are givers, that's why I'm saying it's particularly difficult for them. They are
Yeah.
wired to give, and they may have a harder time seeing boundaries and
Yeah.
setting boundaries, right? Because they're not wired that way. For whatever reason, they are the giver that they are. right? And so you and I know I recently had a conversation with someone who's very much a giver, who was giving me advice to give even more to a situation that was far past my comfort zone. And she was like, "Yeah, that's what you should do." I'm like, "Oh no."
Or anyone's natural comfort zone, right? I mean,
Yeah, it was way past my comfort zone. But and I had to say to myself, I can't give this any more time. I have given it all the time I have. I
yeah.
can't give it any more time. And that's okay. And being okay with that. And be clear, I struggle with it a little bit, but it is about being clear. I've got to now rearrange my thoughts and say that ship has sailed. That opportunity is gone. It is what it is. I'm okay with it. Now let's move forward.
I think it also, for me, has come with age and experience and lessons learned, right? I don't want to do this again. I don't want to be here again. And so I am going to say no this time. I am that person who likes to serve and advocate and speak out, right? I sit on boards, I lead
Yes.
committees, I raise my hand for things at work, right? I'm that guy.
Yeah.
And I've had to learn to say no. Like, I have a girlfriend right now who's literally taking a sabbatical from serving because
Wow.
because it can be so
It's
draining.
draining. Yes.
What you
Yeah.
want is really who you are, but sometimes you have to be poured into in order to be a better servant. And so,
Absolutely.
I am so proud of her for recognizing that and being in this place in her life right now where she's like, you know what, I'm taking a sabbatical to be poured into, right? And then when
Yep.
I'm full again and I have more to give and God has spoken to me in whatever way, then I'll go back in and start putting things on my plate again, right? Yeah.
Listen, that makes sense. That makes sense. And so when we talk about it from an accountability standpoint, because it always goes back to accountability for us, what how do you use it in an accountability relationship?
For me, it's being transparent um, about everything that I have going on,
Yeah.
or um, it's part of the conversation and the relationship. It's also sharing the things that I do want to do in my life, right? So that someone else who's not so clouded by the emotions connected to things can say, look at it from this perspective, right? Or have you considered, if you take this on, that you might not be able to do this, right? And so for me, it's
Yeah.
just sharing and being open for the feedback and the other perspective, and realizing that I still got 20 good summers. It doesn't mean that I have to do everything this summer.
That part. Yeah. I think for me, I mean, again, prime example for you helping me was with that situation where someone wanted me to give more, continue to give more past my comfort zone. And you said, yeah, no, that you've done your part, right? You've done your part. And or my mom came and said, you know, no amount of additional giving is going to change what's already been done. You
That's
can't
what
change
it
anything.
is. I don't know that it was a comfort zone for you because you're a giver, right? I think you're
Yeah.
comfortable giving. And so
Yeah.
I think it was just looking at other perspectives. That's all. And you were
Yes.
considering other perspectives. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was. And it was helpful for me because for me, I'm not going to get that time back. Thinking about a situation that didn't go as maybe as well as I would have liked or hoped, or mistakes that I've made, beating myself over the mistakes I've made. You feel it, you deal with it, but then you got to go move on because guess what? You ain't getting this time back. Like how much, and that's a big one I think that I see women do, beating themselves up for what didn't go right.
Right.
Beating themselves up for they're letting their bodies get out of shape, beating themselves up for getting themselves in the financial situation that they're in. You can be there for a little bit and that's okay and that's fair, but then you got to come on because you can't get this time back. Wallowing ain't going to change nothing.
That's it. You make it day one.
Exactly.
Day one. Is today one day or is it day one? It can be day one. Tomorrow can also be day one. The next day can be day one. I mean, you want to get to where you're adding on to your days, but definitely don't dwell in the past or beat yourself up for something that hasn't happened. Just make today day one.
I have a good friend who is in a difficult relationship, and she is not at all happy in this relationship. She is married. She's not at all happy in this relationship, but she's staying because she's like, I don't want to start over.
Mm.
And I'm like, but you are incredibly miserable. You are living well beneath your standards. And I'm not telling her what to do or not do. I'm just saying, because she's considering making a different choice. And I said, but whatever you do, don't look at it as starting over. Look at it as starting better.
There you go. It's
Start
all
better.
about perspective, right? How do you ensure that you are prioritizing those 24 hours that you do have?
I now think more about what's important to me. So what's important to me are my relationships. They are my relationships and quality time with people I love and care for. So I am going to look how I can work smarter, not harder, because I don't want to be at work all day. So I can't enjoy my relationships. That doesn't make sense to me because that takes away from the value, right? Or I'm working so much, either I don't have time or I'm too tired. So those sort of kind of help lead how I move and what I think about and how I prioritize things.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. What about you?
Similar, but I think at this stage in my life, it's about creating experiences for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in the same vein, I'm going to work smarter, not harder, because I want to be present. There are certain things where there's no redos, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not going to take a job that I'm so beholden to that I can't go to the pre-K graduation ceremony. That's at 10 o'clock in the morning, right?
Right.
I want to be able to create a space for my kids so that I can make experiences for them around whatever is going on in their life at the moment. I have a girlfriend right now who we know and love, Club Lab Rascals. She posted this week on social media about what she manifested for her family. She manifested a gap year for her family. She homeschools her kids, and they made a list of places that they wanted to travel in the world a few years ago. And she wrote down that it was going to be 2022, 2023 a few years ago. And she's booked 3 of those trips already. She manifested those experiences for her kids. And if you follow her, the things that she does with Lab Rascals and homeschooling her kids, she's amazing. Okay. She's amazing.
I love it. I love hearing things like that.
I was so inspired because we've had many conversations about manifestation, right?
Yeah.
And so she's, planned her time, and she's very diligent and particular about her time, right? And her family, and she will shut her phone off, and there's certain hours that she's engaged with her kids because that's her priority, right?
Yeah.
She has a business and she works, but at that moment, her kids are her priority. And so one of the things I know that we talk about is setting your priorities, because that's what's going to take the time.
Yeah. Yes. Which leads us into our latest venture here. That was a perfect segue. You want to talk about it, Tasha?
I do. I'm so excited. We started AQ Partners, Accountability Queens, AQ Partners, by just sharing the things that we already did in our life. People always asked, what does this mean? Accountability, partnership, relationship. What do you guys do? Your meetings? And that's how we started this whole thing. And hopefully we've been able to drop nuggets in people's lives. And so now we are also going to invite people into something that we have been doing for a
Yes.
long time as well.
For years. Yeah.
For years. I'm a little selfish. You talk about time. I'm real selfish with my time and my relationships. And so I must love the AQ Nation, right? Them into this time. But I am very happy to share that we will start Set It Off Sundays. And
Yes.
that's the time that Sharon and I take on every Sunday to plan our priorities for the week. And so we're super excited to share with you how we go through that and support you in doing the same things. Yes.
Yes, you can see it right there. Set It Off Sundays. And so what it is, there's a Zoom link. Let me get the Zoom link up here so you all can register, join in with us, and go to bit.ly/Set It Off Sun. Listen, it's super easy. It's free. Come in. We're going to plan for the week. What is it that you're trying to get done this week? Because listen, if you're trying to eat an elephant right now, what you say, you got to take it one bite at a time.
You're going to use that expression.
I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it. I'm using it. That's what I'm doing. One bite at a time. Go to the link. Join us every Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Just 1 hour, 8:30 to 9:30. Let's just get together and focus and figure out what 2-3 things we're going to get done this week. We're going to help you set it up. We're going to help you hold you accountable, right? And we want to see you be a success.
I'm super excited. And there will be time to ask questions and get some feedback and, understand and become part of the community that is the AQ Nation. So I'm excited to build and for folks to get to know each other and leverage the resources that we have as a community.
Absolutely.
I mean, we had a great example last night. There's some issues that are going on. A few girlfriends got together and solved it like that.
That.
Because you're so, here in your issue that you can't even see the things that are quite possible. So just talk about it and you will be amazed.
It's amazing what opening your mouth will do. So join us again, bit.ly/Set It Off Sunday, Set It Off Sun for our Set It Off Sundays. It'll be on your calendar. Mark your calendar. Join us. Right. And as always,
alarm will go off.
Yes.
I like
it. And
as
always, you can follow us on Facebook, AQ Partners, on Instagram, AQ_partners, and go to our website, The AQ Partners, as always. And again, so Set It Off Sun. See you starting. Oh, we need to say when it's going to start.
Oh, yeah.
August 1st.
Well, August 1st is not Sunday.
That part.
Is August 9th, right? It's the
Yo.
first Sunday.
No.
It's the first Sunday in August. August 7th. August 7th.
Clearly, we need to get our stuff together.
We'll be there every Sunday. So
we're going to be there on Sunday regardless. Join us starting August 7th.
First Sunday in August.
First Sunday in August. All right. Please send the link out. We definitely send the link out, and please share it. Oh, Gangsta says, I have a friend who's watching her mother pass away. She put the rest of her family on hold to be there for her mom. That's right. Listen.
Absolutely.
We'll
keep that.
And we will send the link out, and please share it. And our prayers go out to your friend who is being there in the most important hour of her mother's life. And so with that,
travel safely, Miss Sharon.
Yes, I pray that your electricity stays on all night and into the morning.
Me too. I'll see you next week.
Take care. Bye-bye.